Welcome to my YouTube channel. I just finished the sketchbook like 2 days ago, and as you can see, it's like really fucking fat. And I finished this in like couple months, as you can see. And today we're going to be going through it to look at the hopeful improvement. I unfortunately because this is a small sketchbook, it's pretty small. It's like 100 pages or so. I was so busy with school my last year of senior year, my last senior year. And I had no motivation to draw at all. Like I wasn't depressed. I was just like I lacked the motivation and the creativity to really get into the groove that I used to have, because I used to be able to finish sketchbooks and like that. Like I'm pretty sure I have one sketchbook where I finished it in like 1 month, which is crazy. But um once I graduated, I was able to actually get back into that groove. Unfortunately, my art style did not improve all that much, but it's whatever. I've had worse phases. So hopefully we will see some progression here. Oh yeah. This is a cover. It's not that good, but you know, I got this from the clinic. I the pediatrician. I still go to a pediatrician. Um, and they gave me that when I got my shot. So yeah, it's the first page. I always try to do something special for the first page because I was always like, I'm probably gonna like at some point in the future make videos going over my sketchbooks, and I was right. I'm making one right now. This is supposed to be me. I know I don't look like that, but pretend like I do. And it's me holding a little sketchbook and a pen. And I was 17 years old once I started this. I'm 18 now, so. Oh, I wrote a little something here. It says, sadly, this will probably be the last sketchbook I have since I'll be a legal adult and have more shit to do. Hopefully, that's not the case, because art is such a big part of my life. It always has been, and it hopefully always will be. I know I'll be busy, and hopefully, I'll still have time to indulge in art and be able to fill up more sketchbooks, but we'll see. Hopefully. Hopefully I will though. Uh I'm already pretty busy enough as it is, and I don't even do shit at home. I love art, and I have no doubt I'll keep doing it even in the future, but probably not as much as I used to. Yeah, this year, or like this school year, once I was finishing school, I was just so busy with everything. Even though I wasn't really doing anything, I just felt like I was busy and I was constantly doing something, and I couldn't really focus on art. And well, I had art at school, so I guess that was like my fill, that was my fix. But I took sculpture for senior year, so it was a little bit different to sketching on paper and like gluing stuff up, and it was really different. I'm actually pretty glad I took that class because I like got out of my comfort zone, sorta. I learned how to do a bunch of different things and use different like techniques, and also it was my last period, so it was really fun to just like relax after going through a bunch of classes. Even though I didn't do anything my senior year, like I my senior year was so easy. I had the highest grades I've ever had in my whole entire academic career, so it was pretty easy. I wasn't like struggling with anything, but like just having to be there at school and like constantly just like just going through it, it it was like it was kind of a refresher because sometimes before that I had forensics, and forensics was really fun, honestly. I loved forensics. But sometimes it would be a little like you'd have to actually use your brain, and I was not used to that because it was senior year. So it was kind of a refresher, and it was really relaxing to just do something with your hands. Um, Also, I got to use like clay and stuff, which I that's the reason why I joined sculpture, because I wanted to work more with clay and stuff like that. And I did. And hopefully, I will stop by my school and get some of the artwork that I worked on. Hopefully, the teacher will give it back to me, and maybe I'll make a video on that. I don't know. But let me stop talking. This is the first page. This is my OC. I have multiple OCs, too many to fucking count, to be honest. But I love her. She's so cute. And I'm a hoarder. So this is like gum packaging from a gum that I love. I fucking love that gum. Um, and I keep collecting the packaging and I use it as a background for because it just looks kind of bland, bland without like a background if I just stick on the like sketches. Also, most of these sketches are old sketches that I did during school. Again, I never really had time to do anything outside of school. So most of the sketches in this um, notebook, sketchbook, will be like sketches that I made from school, probably from senior year and a little bit of junior year, I want to say. So most of this isn't like an actual reflection of how I draw now, which is a good and bad thing because I wanted to see progression, but you probably won't see the progression because of the sketches, and I still have a bunch of sketches that I'll probably be putting into my new sketchbook. Um, this is my OC again, and these are flowers that somebody special gave to me, and I usually dry them, and this time I didn't know where to put them, and I didn't really have anywhere to put them, so I just put them into my sketchbook, and they'll be in there forever. This is such a cute little page. I remember this. I'm pretty sure I drew this at like some church camp because I was forced to go to a church camp for 2 years, and I drew this in there, and I colored it in. It's me as a little alien. I know I don't look like that anymore, but I kind of used to look like that. Well, at least the hair. Now it's a little more green. But I love aliens. I love little alien sketches. And then here's another one. That's supposed to be me, and that's supposed to be my OC. I love her. I love her so much. She's so fun to draw, and I love giving my OCs like big hair, big fluffy hair. This is also something I sketched in the camp. I was so bored in that camp, so I knew I'd have to bring something to entertain me. So I just brought a sketchbook, and obviously the religious imagery was there. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be um, La Rosa de Guadalupe, but she doesn't really look like that, so it's like my depiction of her, I guess. And then this is my OC, more of my OC. These are like little letters that she writes to her mother, and it goes with her storyline. But I don't really feel like showing that because it's kind of like corny and it's cringy, so we're just gonna ignore that. A little sticker, Jack Skellington, right there. It's just a little guy. This is my other OC. This is my main OC. I've had her since I was like what, like 9. She originated from Royal High, Roblox Royal High. She has been there that long. So this is me. Like I haven't drawn her in forever, so I drew her again, sorta. She doesn't really look like that, but I tried changing up her art, her style, and it didn't work out. It doesn't look like the her that I knew because the way that I used to draw her was so bad, and I'm trying to like revamp a lot of my old OCs because I don't draw them anymore, and maybe it's just like because I have way too many OCs and I keep forgetting about them, and I feel bad. I feel like I'm neglecting them. So this is her little outfits. Um, yeah, more sketches that I made during the year. These are different OCs that I have drawn. I love her so much, and this is her love interest. I love her so fucking much. She's one of my favorite OCs. Again, she really reminds me of my old OC that I showed in the previous page. They're low-key a little inspired, and I love putting a bit of myself into my OCs. So I don't know. She's just so cool. She's like the ideal, not the ideal version of me, but like if I was a cool like blonde girl in the born in the 2000s, I would have been her. And then we have this little sketch that I made during forensics. It's a little bear girl, and then there's another side of it. Cute. This is also one of my OCs. She's in the same storyline as the previous OC, the blonde one. And then here's a little sketch that I made of another OC. She's not in that storyline. She's in a different storyline, and I actually worked on a comic for her, but I never uploaded it to anything, and I never finished the comic. So it's like I might remake the comic, or I might just forget about it, and I don't know. We'll see. And then this is another OC, and in the background, the lyrics to "Bad Boyfriend," I think. Bad Boyfriend by Garbage, I think. I don't know. He is part of the same storyline that the other two OCs are. So yeah, I barely draw male. Yeah, I rarely. Oh my god! What the male characters? So I wanted to like try and make more, but that's him again. He is one of my favorites. I'm gonna be honest. And then here are two of my other OCs. They're basically a trio, right? Um, they're like a trio. They're best friends. Yay! Their trio is sadly doomed. But this is them in their little winter outfits. This is They're best friends. They're complicated. And yeah, they're all part of the same storyline. Again, they're part of the storyline with the blonde girl and then the lifeguard girl. And then again, more of my OCs from the same storyline. They're they're probably the characters that I mostly draw like with a side profile. I don't know why, but I just love drawing them like to the side. I don't know. It's weird. Can't show that. This is something that I made for art, and I low key fucking hate it because I don't look like that. But it was supposed to be like a self portrait, but like the sketches for art was so annoying. I hated doing them so much. I dreaded doing them. And every time I had a free sketch, I would just use my old art to like get a grade in because I hated doing it. I hated doing it so much. And a little Oh my god. Okay. So so I do this thing where I have a bunch of these little papers that are sticking out are sketches that I made in art class, and obviously I can't really cut them up because they're all like I'd risk damaging one drawing over the other, so I just took the whole page and I just taped it into the sketchbook, and that's why it's so big and stuffy. This is also, like you can see, it's not actually part of the sketchbook, but I taped it in there. And here we have, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? I don't know. This is Ivan. Alien Stage. I love Alien Stage. So I drew Ivan, I drew Sua, and I drew Till, my glorious king. And these are little leftover piece of paper that I had that I made for someone. That's supposed to be me, or me when I was in my senior. I still kind of look like that. I don't know. Again, just little sketches, little doodles, and then the page is flipped. My bad. This is the original page. This is Nene. I love her so much. She's one of my favorite characters, protagonists from any shoujo manga and anime. I know Toilet Bound isn't really shoujo, but it's like kind of in that realm. It's so cute. It's one of my favorite romance animes ever, and I love her. She's so me. This is my OC. Yeah, my OC. I don't know if she's also part of the storyline of the oldest OC. It's complicated. I know. Just little doodles. Again, I got this at the pediatrics. Yes. Again, more of my OC. This is okay. This is Janixi. Yeah. They are my first gender fluid OC because I'm gender fluid and I realized I don't really have a lot of OCs that are queer gender. I have a lot of OCs that are queer, but none that are really like, like me. So I was just like, you know what, let me make one. And she is also part of the same storyline of my other OCs. So yeah, this is them. Can you tell I love drawing like really funky hair? This is a page that I think I originally drew something on there, but I didn't like the way it turned out, so I just made it into a little like picture. The Virgin Mary. Um, another one of my OCs. This is the father of one of my other OCs. She is not part of their storyline. I might make a comic on her and her whole storyline because her storyline is a lot easier to follow and it's also very cliche. So I feel like it'd be, I don't know. Maybe I'll do something with that. Maybe I'll upload it to Webtoon. I don't know. We'll see in the future. And more of me gluing down little sketches from school. Pretty sure most of these were in my notebook for forensics. I know this one was for sure. This one was the first page. Um, these are little stickers that my forensics teacher would give us. Like we would do something for extra credit, and then she'd put in the little stickers, and I'm pretty sure I had all of them, so I just took them out and I put them in the sketchbook. And here are my little OCs from the storyline that I was talking about. Him, the dad to the main character, the OCs that I might make a comic on. I know it's complicated. Okay, this is the main character. That's her. That's not a really good depiction of her, but whatever. This is her friends. These are her friends. This is just a random other OC. We're not gonna talk about it. Um, and then yeah, I have this habit of just sticking on stickers to like empty spaces because I hate empty spaces so much. Okay, we gotta get into this one. Okay, this was a drawing that I was so fucking proud of. I was so proud of it. I still am proud of it actually because it took a really long time. So I want anime merch, but I can't really afford anime merch. Well, I can, as you can see, I have a lot of merch up there. But like I mean like little pins and little jewelry and stuff like that. So I was just like, why not make it myself? So I drew this and I cut up a bunch of soda cans and I made them into little pins and I might sell them on my Depop. I don't know, maybe. Um, but yeah, this is one of the leftover little circles, and this is my OC. I have him up on my Instagram, like a little bio with them, so I guess I could say their names. This is
His name is Morgan, but said like Megan.
him. That's the friend of the previous OC, and then this is a little bookmark that I got at like a school fair. It was senior, what was it called? It was like senior economics day. It was something like that where you had to make a product and you had to like sell it to a bunch of other people. And I got a bunch of stuff from there. Actually, a lot of the stuff up here and a lot of like little clips and hairpins I got from there, and it was so fun. Actually, I'd love to do that again. Um, and yeah, little. I don't know where I got this from. I think I stole it from like my dad or something. I found it somewhere in his truck, and I just to put it on there. Again, the background is gum paper. This is me and Max. This is again my OC, but she has a different hairstyle. So, again, her in a different hairstyle. This is my OC. His name is Ismail. Okay, I know his name. I remember his name. This is stickers, as you can see. I'm pretty sure the background is like a photo that I printed out, but I didn't like the photo, so I just put it in my sketchbook. And oh my gosh, how could I forget about her? She is also an OC, but kind of like a brand. In my head, she's a brand, and I make a bunch of clothes with her on it and like a bunch of pins with her face on it because I just love her so much. I love her design and I love drawing her. Um, I drew her on a t-shirt, like a plain white t-shirt, and I wore it out, and it was super fun. It was super cute. Oh, this is also my OC. They're all my OCs. Actually, most of this sketchbook is just going to contain my OCs, which is kind of annoying for me to just repeat my OCs, but whatever. This guy fucking sucks. I made him a loser and he's annoying. And if I were to do a deep dive on their lore, you would see why. This is the son to the blonde OC. These are his actual parents, but he was raised by the blonde OC, so that's his mom. In his eyes, that's his mom. And then this is Nene. This was from my forensics notebook. I drew her on the first page, and I just drew a bunch of hearts around her because I love her so much. She's one of my favorite characters out of any anime. Again, more of my OCs. It looks like a mess in here, but whatever. Um, that's my OC's mom. Also my OC's mom. Also my OC's mom. A lot of these are just the moms of OCs or like my actual OCs, if that makes any sense. Like this is the mom and the daughter arguing. Yeah, cute. And then I drew this at the beach, not the beach, the pool. It was a pool day and we went to the pool and I got bored, so I just drew in my sketchbook because I brought it. And I drew this cute little rain girl and I have this up on my Instagram. So I was inspired by the rain because it's been thundering a lot. Actually, I'm pretty sure we just heard a thunder right now. I don't know if you could like hear it, but I heard it. It was thundering right now. This is one of the pages where like I had to stick this on. Um so more of my OCs. These two are from different universes. So this is the mom of this OC who are from different universe, different storylines. And these two are from a different storyline where Ismael is from. So, and then, okay, I remember I drew this and I was so proud of this because I thought it was just so cute. I love her design. I love the mom's design. I'm so glad I made her look like that. Originally I was like, oh, I want her to be a riot girl, but I don't think that would have worked because of the timeline of the story. But we'll see if I fix that later on. Again, that's her daughter, that's the mom, that's the dad, but that was them during prom night. And this is her friend, and that's her. These are all her, the main cast basically. Because they're all like fairy girls. Like think of Winx, think of those kinds of shows. Like that was their whole storyline basically. and it has to do with like their necklace that gives them magical powers, you know? This I also drew at the pool. That's my little brother, and I drew him really fucking ugly, and that's me judging my little brother. That's my OC. Again, I love her, and that's my other OC. Um, she looks a little different. Her forehead isn't showing, which is like her signature thing, but you know, again, more of me gluing in my old sketches. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, a lot of these, again, a lot of these I drew in like notebook paper or like in classwork, which I probably shouldn't have been doing because that's really embarrassing. Because like the teachers would be like, "Oh, you're so good at drawing," or like my classmates would be like, "Oh, that's really cool," and then I get like embarrassed and I'd be like, "Oh, thanks." Because like, what are you supposed to say to them, man? Like, I don't know. This is my OC's sister, the Bat Girl, the vampire girl. But she's more bat than vampire, if that makes sense. Like she's more bat inspired. I love her. She's so fun to draw. They're both so fun to draw, but like her design is more like I don't know. Her design is more my style. This is the main character for my OC, and this is her older sister. Again, I drew this in my forensics notebook, and these are some of the sketches that I made for my OCs again in class. This is supposed to be a little depiction of me. I don't really look like that, but you know what I mean. Okay, back to my OC, my little merch OC. You know, if I could make merch, I would make merch of her for sure. Well, technically I already have, but like, you know what I mean. That's her. She's so cute. I love her. She has a big ass forehead. I love that about her character design because I really like. I constantly draw bangs on my characters, and it's like probably because I have bangs, but like I need to draw characters with like a hairline. And like I was like, you know what? I'm gonna draw a character with a fucked up hairline. And so I did. And this is her boyfriend. I don't really know what his relation to her would be, but he's just a little guy. He's a little zombie guy, and she likes to torment him. So, yeah, romantic, I know. More of my sketches that I made in class. A lot of these are just OCs that we've previously seen. I don't think there's any new ones here. Oh, that's a lie. Her. She is a new OC. I was seriously considering making a comic out of her. Again, I've seriously considered making comics out of all of my OCs, but hers, I was actually making like reference sheets for her and the other characters, but I never actually made the comic. I might because the comic is really simple and the storyline isn't complicated, doesn't involve magic or anything like that. It's just a stupid little love story. So I don't know. Maybe I might do something about that. But yeah, this is more Nene. I love her. I love her so much. I love sketching her. She's so fun to draw. Her character design is so unique, and I could go on for hours and hours about how much I love the art style in Hanako, but I won't because that will take too long. This is more of my sketches. Pretty sure all of these. Yeah, all of these are already included. Got this from socks from my South Park socks that I got. Yeah. These pages are. We're just gonna skip through these because they're kind of personal. Um, more of again, more of the stupid gum packaging that I use as backgrounds for my sketches. And you might be wondering, who is Victoria? I don't know how to say that. Who is Victoria? Girl, I don't know. I found these stickers in like a box that my mom put a bunch of little decoration things in because we were gifted all of this by my dad's boss. Well, not really boss. She's just kind of somebody he works for, and she gives us like a bunch of shit, like a bunch of just shit that she doesn't use anymore. and like a lot of it is like expensive because he works for fucking rich people. So fortunately, I have a bunch of things that they've gifted us that I we could never be able to afford. And well, I'm pretty sure obviously I could have been able to afford these little stickers, but I'm pretty sure these were her daughter's stickers, and they were like name tags that she would put on her school supplies. But I just use them as little cute stickers. Okay, this is a rare occasion in my sketchbooks. Um, a two-pager, like a whole sketch that's laid out. This is another OC, part of another storyline, as you can see. Don't question the weird positioning. It's part of his lore. I would describe his lore, but it would take too long, and also his lore is a little bit disturbing because the storyline that this,
I then went on to ramble about the storyline.
but the reason why I wouldn't describe their storyline because it's not fully fleshed out yet. I haven't fully fleshed it out, and I have this deep desire to make it into like a novel, not a novel, visual novel. I have this deep desire. Sorry, I have this deep desire of making it into like a visual novel, but like a really dark one. Like um, the themes in this storyline are a little bit more darker. So I was, yeah, it's not something I really do. I'm not used to making stuff like that, but I feel like it's a good outlet for me. And he's he's so cool. I love him. I love drawing his scars. I don't have a lot of OCs with scars, I noticed. So, you know, I was just like, why not? Um, she's also part of the same storyline as him. I could give like a little bit of a lore background because that would explain why they look like that. She is like a card reader, I think. What's that called? The card reader ladies? I don't know. She's the wife of the ringmaster. So they're all in a circus. They're all circus themed OCs. And he is like a technically a rag doll, right? And that's why he has a bunch of scars, and that's why he's treated very poorly. Actually, all of the characters are treated very poorly because of the ringmaster. And this is the wife of the ringmaster. I drew her. I like short hair is so feminine, so I was like, I want to draw her with super short hair, and I was thinking of like finger waves, but then I chose this. But I might update her design because I really don't. I don't know. It just doesn't fit her character. Like it does, but it doesn't. It's weird. This is more of my OC. I love her. She is the main character of the storyline where Ismael and his friends are. So I might actually genuinely just start making a comic on that. Maybe not like a full fleshed out like webtoon, but maybe like small bits of their storyline so that I don't have to work too hard to make everything make sense. Because I've always been a fan of stuff like BB or like narrative. There's a clear narrative there, but you have to kind of piece everything together to make the story come together. If that makes any sense. So I was like, what if I don't? What if I do that with their storyline? Because it's like slice of life, but it's not slice of life. It has like drama in it. Well, I guess it would just be considered drama, but it would present itself as a slice of life and eventually have more and more drama in it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? This is more of my sketches that I drew on work that I probably shouldn't have been doing, but whatever, I passed. This is the same, not same. He is part. Anyways, back to back to this. Um, he is part of the same storyline as Ismail and everybody. Again, he is. This is kind of like a reference sheet for him. Because I like constantly try to switch up his character because I feel like it's not unique enough. It looks way too similar to like a lot of my other OCs. That's a big problem that I face, especially with my male OCs, because I don't know how to draw men. So that's him. He's heavily inspired by Gojo, to be honest. Like super inspired. I'm pretty sure you can see it in in these sketches how inspired he is by Gojo. But yeah, um, this is a little, what's that called? What's that called? You know, um, I took these pictures with my brother. Obviously, my brother's not in there in the pictures, but he was like right next to me while I was taking these pictures, and I cut them out of the paper and I glued it into my sketchbook. And here are more of my sketches. Yes, that's Jinx right there. I love Jinx. I love Arcane. She's so cool. She's literally me. This is again my OC. She's part of the. I don't see that. Can you see that? I don't know. The lighting might be like actually fucking ass right here, so I don't know. But this is my OC. She's part of the circus storyline, the darker one, and she's the main character. She's like I want to make her a young girl because the themes and the idea of it came to me when I was like way too young. But I was like, you know, a lot of my OCs are around the age of 15 because that's when I came up with them, or that's the age that I wanted to be. That makes sense. Like when I was like 12, I'd be like, oh, I can't wait to be like 15. And now that I'm 18, it's a little weird. Honestly, it's a little weird for all my OCs to be 15. So I've been trying to age them up or make them different ages. But with her, it's a little weird because she's really young. Like she was meant to be really young. And even when I came up with her storyline and her idea, I was pretty young, but she was still meant to be younger than me. So like I'd say 9 years old. But recently I've been thinking maybe I should age her up because of the darkness of the storyline, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Obviously, nothing happens to her specifically, um, but she will be a witness to a lot of awful things, and I feel like, I feel bad. But, like, again, you're the creator, so it's like, you know. But yeah, um, I love her. She's like, I have a very maternal feeling for her. Again, I did create her, so it makes sense. But still, very conflicted on her age. I'm not sure how old she will be, but she will definitely be middle school age. So she will either be able to be a sixth grader or an eighth grader. I'm not sure, but we will see. Again, the OCs that are part of the fairy or like the necklace storyline are also in middle school, and their middle school will play a large part of the lore. So that's why I felt like. Also, that's when I came up with them. I came up with the idea when I was in like middle school. I didn't really draw them. I just came up with like the storyline and everything when I was in middle school. So it was like and a lot of it was inspired by the fact that a lot of it is inspired by my middle school. Like the layout of the school is a lot of the layout will be inspired by my middle school, the middle school that I went to. But I'm a little scared to do that because I don't want people recognizing the middle school that I went to. Either way, a lot of the things that I went through, not really that I specifically went through, but things that I would witness and that I would feel would be put into that storyline. So, this is a little bit of fan art for the girl, the pink haired girl. I don't know her name. I don't remember her name. From Sakamoto Days. I read the manga first and then I watched the show, and it's really good. It's really good. It's really fun. She's such a cute. I love her character design. It's so cute. Ooh. um, I don't have any words for this one. I fucking hate Chie. He's genuinely one of my least favorite characters ever. So I have to draw him in that position as like payback, basically. Um, again, more fan art of Sakamoto Days. This was like definitely one of my favorite. Like, I wouldn't say slice of life. I think it is slice of life, but it's one of my favorites. I love it. It's really fun. It's really silly too. I don't know if I can show this. It's not anything inappropriate, but it is girls in bikinis, and they are in suggestive poses. So I don't think I could show that. More of my OCs. Okay, well, not well. They're still my OCs, but I refer to them as my OC's parents. So this is a little bit of their love story, a little bit of their history. I don't know if you can see it that well because of the lighting, but I'll probably put up pictures so you can like read it better and you can see it better. Again, this isn't part of the actual sketchbook. I had to tape this thing on, and I drew this in art class. So this is more of them. I love them. Again, I love her. I love her design. She's so fun to draw. Okay, so my dumbass didn't realize that two pages were stuck together. So here's the first one. It's me with a character from Sakamoto Days, and I love him. Here's the second one, and it's a very rare colored sketch of myself. Yeah, that's it. More of this fuck ass gum packaging as the background. I need to stop doing that for real, but whatever. These are again more of my OCs that are part of the timeline of Ismael. And that's his friend. That's his friend right there. Her name is Airy. Her name is Airy. Um, this is work that I. Well, this is work. This is work from forensics, I think. All of it is from forensics for some reason. Most of it is from forensics. Not all of it, but most of it is from forensics because forensics was pretty easy for me actually. And I would just draw on the bottom of the paper. She is so fucking fun to draw. I don't know why. I love drawing her with like this blank look in her eyes, and she just looks so bored all the time. She's such a diva. I love her. She's one of my favorite characters that I come up with. She's part of the same storyline as Izma. And here are more sketches that I've drew in old work paper and that I've just taped onto my sketchbook. And then here is some more of that. And I've added tape. And I've added tape into this. I've added some tape. I've added a bunch of like scrap paper from like newspaper and stuff like that. A fully colored page in my sketchbook. That is a rare sight. Okay, this is the same OC from the first page that we saw today. I love her. Her storyline is again the same as the other character storyline. So this is a little bit more of her, and this is her little sister. They work together, but not really. I don't want to spoil their storyline in case I actually make a comic on it, but yeah. More sketches that I've been taped on and glued on to my sketchbook. This is the black and white version of the drawing that I made. Because I was like, well, I accidentally printed out black and white versions when I wanted color versions, but whatever. It worked out in the end. That's fine. More of these little sketches that I made for in class, and then I just glued them onto my sketchbook. A lot of this actually, oh, we're on the last page. A lot of the work here was just stuff that I did during school on schoolwork paper and that I eventually just taped onto here. Um, this is me. That's supposed to be me. That doesn't look like me, I know, but whatever. That's me saying the end. The end to this sketchbook and the end to those past few months of artwork that I did that was very little. Again, most of it was me just sketching during school, so not a lot of progression was made in the art style. But hopefully, with the next with the next hopefully with the next sketchbook, we'll see more progression. Hopefully, um, and then this is the back page, like the back cover. You know, this is more of kind of an OC that I made. I'm pretty sure this is Yanexi, but more of a feminine version of them. Viva! Anyways, that is the end of this sketchbook. Hopefully, I will have more to show if I do actually work on filling up my sketchbook this year. I have already started on a new one, so we'll see how that ends up and how it'll be in the future.